I'm sitting here with the chair of the Maathai Foundation, Wanjira Maathai, and we're not having a conversation. What she's doing is shocking me, and I, in turn, you're watching me, and I think if I watched you watching me, you'd have the same expression. You're like, what? And in our earlier video, we talked about the fact that we know when Valentine's Day is, we know when Easter is, we know when Christmas is, and we know when all sorts of things are, but we don't have in this country a date in our calendar that clearly says this is when we will plant our trees.
And that sticks.
That sticks. Yeah. So to CS Tobiko, could you gazette? New dispensation, make a mark in history, legacy done, maliza yo kazi. The next job we have to do is actually restore our forest cover. And I'm one of those people who saw that map of Kenya going around Twitter that was turning brown, okay? How many trees do we need?
Well, I
hear we have a deficit.
Yes, let's just say in terms of numbers, there's so many, as we say in Kikuyu, cannot be counted.
Okay, but still.
But we need 10% at a minimum. You have
Forest
countries
cover.
that have 60, 70.
Yes, I actually Googled that,
right?
yes.
So we're just trying to get to the minimum required for sustainable development. For you and I to survive, and our children and the next generation, we need 10% forest cover. Today we have 6.8%. So we have a deficit, which is equivalent, I believe, to about 50 million plus trees. So it's a lot of trees to be planted, right? No, in fact, it's more. It's in the billions, right? 500 million, perhaps.
Oh my goodness.
But let's even not get stuck with the actual numbers. It's a deficit to the bare minimum. So we are in the red zone.
We're in the red zone.
We're in the red zone. We've already started seeing some of those
So this was
effects
a fuel gauge in a car. We are at
empty.
So the red light has come on.
The red light is on.
Oh, the red light is on.
The red light was long on. Okay? Because also remember, a lot of these metrics count the trees that are on farm.
Oh.
If you considered, in fact, there was a statistic the other day, and we can verify, there are more trees outside the forest than inside the forest. We should have a higher density of trees in our forests than outside.
Why don't we have, because a forest is a collection of trees, so why don't we have trees in the forest?
Well, we have a big problem, and I think credit to CS Tobiko for taking this thing head on.
Okay.
The task force that's currently in place, really wonderfully being chaired by the Greenbelt Movement, Chair Marion Kamau, they are basically tasked with understanding where we went wrong. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Well, you're telling me we don't have trees in the forest.
We don't have enough trees in the forest.
What's a forest?
There's a level of deforestation in this country that is alarming. And we saw some of those images circulating as the task force was being. And then, of course, heads rolled with their suspensions at the Kenya Forest Service because of it. But something went wrong in the way we manage and the way we govern our forests. Now, a couple of things are a problem. We have a Forest Act that actually is quite impressive, as most of our policies are.
Yes, somebody once told me, in fact it is Justice Njoki Domo, she told me, we look good on paper.
Oh, you should read that. It has the Forest Week too, the one you like.
Okay.
But it has a lot of other really interesting things, including a State of the Forest report annually.
And
we
what
should
does
be
the state
hearing
of the forest say?
We never hear about the state of. That's why we're so surprised that the forests have been depleted. We should have known every year what the state of our forests are, according to the Forest Act. We don't have that. So what I'm trying to say is we need a full implementation of that act to be able to even get close to managing the forests well. But there's also something fundamentally wrong with the way we managed our forests and the way we zone our forests for plantations. I want to try and explain this in as simple terms as I can. When I was growing up, my mother always told me, forests are like sponges.
Okay.
When it rains, the water goes into the sponge and goes into what we call the underground aquifers.
Yes, that I know.
Then it comes to us slowly as rivers.
But because we don't have forests, when it rained that other day, it just came direct to the house.
Yes.
And not through a tap.
Exactly, to the house, literally.
Literally.
To the house, cars, everything.
Everything. Or Jijo Road.
That shouldn't be happening.
Okay.
That shouldn't be happening. That all that rainfall Lord knows, should be harvested and kept as far upstream as possible and come down to us, filtered beautifully through our rivers.
Of course.
And when you have the level of deforestation we have, that's impossible. The ground is hard, the water hits, and off it
And
runs.
it can't go in,
It cannot go in, cannot percolate. And it percolates slowly down the leaves.
Yes, it does.
Those trees are needed for all that percolation.
I'd never thought about that, by the way. I had never thought about that. It hits the tree, the leaves. It comes down slowly.
the trunks.
But actually what has happened is that it's almost like you had a water tank here and it burst.
The sky is open.
And the sky is open literally and ended up in your house.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
Finally, it was an aha moment for me when she said that. I was like, yeah, no wonder.
I just had the aha.
Yeah, see?
Yes, I just had it.
And the banks break. No wonder all these things happen.
Yes.
And not to mention the siltation, all the soil that comes down.
I know.
I once had kids draw rivers. I said, let's draw the rivers you want to see.
They were all brown.
They were all brown.
Yes. I was going to tell you.
They were all brown.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, wow, this is their reality. The rivers are brown.
Actually, that's a moment for us to take a break. If, she has said it in one sentence, but the truth is, if I told you right now to sit down and we had an art competition for all our primary school children and high school students as well, and asked them to draw rivers, none of them would draw clear water rivers. They'd all be brown. Mm-hmm. We have lived in a world where rivers are brown.
They're brown.
Rivers are not supposed to be brown. If you take nothing else from this conversation, is rivers should not be brown. Subscribe, share, add the hashtag rivers shouldn't be brown, and then come back. We're not done yet.